But let's move into Wet Boys. We want to thank Eric for being on the podcast, and we'll be moving in soon to John and Z's topics as well. Unfortunately, we didn't have the mailbag yet for the NBA draft. We weren't able to do that this week, but we will have a mock draft next week, and hopefully we'll be able to get that in the week of May. So don't forget to comment next week on our NBA mock stuff. But let's move into the first week of Wet Boys for the playoffs. We are going to be talking about the dampest of dudes, the moistest of men, the soggiest of shooters. These are the Wet Boys for the week. These are guys that absolutely popped off, had historic performances, had crazy stat lines, had shocking upsets as well to go along with it. And weirdly enough, the most shocking, the biggest upset wasn't even mentioned. So I blame you guys for not picking one of the Clippers.
What?
No.
I called mine first.
Could care less. I like my guy.
My guy had a historically fantastic performance.
The Clippers came back from 31 points
against
your guy.
That's cool. That's cool.
Your guy choked again. Your guy choked 3-1 again.
Not really.
Yeah, he did.
Quite.
Anyways, give us yours, Ricky.
Well, before I give mine, the thing I do want to say is don't want to throw shade at you, Sean, but I almost, I was like this close from Shane McManning it just now and saying, you know what, we got to redo that intro because you're not as fired up as you usually are for the soggiest of shooters, the dampest of dudes. I need some more energy, and my guy giving some energy today, if we were doing this segment tomorrow, probably wouldn't be a Wet Boy because right now, during their game 4, he's not playing that well, but game 3, he balled out, and that is Derek White of the San Antonio Spurs. Didn't even know. Many people probably were like, Derek White, who? Who's that? Coming into these playoffs, the casual fans, but he balled out, pulling the Spurs to a 2-1 series lead before the Nuggets today, probably going to bring it back to 2-2, but that's happening now, not coming in before this. So Derek White getting the love, Wet Boy of the week.
And I will say, the guy that would be getting the Wet Boy in that series is Nikola Jokic, who's 9 of 20 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 8 of 8 from the free throw line, 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. And he's closing in.
Not even honorable mention.
He's closing in on keeping his triple-double average for his career playoff games. So I just want to throw that out there. Shout out the best player in that series, Nikola Jokic.
But is he?
He is the best player in that series. I don't think you would disagree.
Was he the one who had a legendary comeback on his own back that won them a game? No, that wasn't him.
That was Jamal Murray.
I'm just saying when you have to get carried, when you have to get carried by the man who couldn't hit a shot in the first half and then just dumpsters a team in the second half. I'm just tossed out there. I got a question.
Your guy blew a 31 fucking point lead. Give yourself your fucking bum.
It's hard to keep engaged in a game when you blow teams out in the first half. Like I'll be honest, it's like I don't give a shit. That was sort of the mentality. And can you blame Steph Curry? The man is bored. He needs competition. And I can't once you turn it off for the night, it's off.
Shooting almost 60% from 3.
Dude, yeah. Thank you. 8 of 12 in the first game, 5 of 11 in the second game, 4 of 6 in the third game. We're talking unprecedented levels of shooting in the playoffs. This man can't fucking miss. It's incredible. Played 20 minutes in his last game, 21 points. He's fire.
He's the good Curry, right?
He's the good Curry.
I will say,
I can't help the fact that he's just incredible and he's bored.
I will say he does have a current offensive rating of 140.
I hear that's the high numbers are the good ones, right, guys? You guys can you back me on that? Confirm that point?
No, 140 is pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty damn insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I will just say that it's pretty pathetic. They blew a 31-point lead to the fucking Clippers.
Again, when you turn it off, you can't turn it back on again.
That's kind of pathetic though that you blew a 31-point lead to the Clippers.
And then you just dumpster them in the other game.
There's no all-star on that team.
Yeah, I'm going to give respect to Lou Will, man.
Yeah, I was saying.
Yeah, I'm saying someone should have gave that respect to him. I didn't. I gave it to Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard, 30 points per game, 5 assists, 4 boards, 46% from the field, 43% from 3. Mostly this is just because we disrespected him early in the season. None of us had him going to the playoffs, and we finally didn't wise up, and none of us picked him, I think, against the Thunder. We all picked against him as well for the Thunder to move on. And
I did not expect them to be
it's kind of hard
we
when you
lost
haven't
our third
won a
best
playoff
player.
team in, 2 years before this?
Yeah. It's like they lost their third best player. We're like, what about their low post presence? Enes Kanter's going to get roasted. And then they're just having the best playoff series. So that series is incredibly fun.
I didn't expect Paul George to go 1 of 10 from 3 in game 1.
Yeah, no, it's that series is absolute fire. I love it.
And I think the thing that I just love for Dame is the fact that he's hitting big shots. He scored 25 in the third quarter in that. I think in one of those games, I forget whether it was the second game or the third game. But he's been fantastic.
Just so confident from three, and I mean deep three. He's like 4 feet behind the 3-point line. He's like, oh, you're not like a foot in my face. I'm just gonna shoot it in your face.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't win the series, the fact that he's won this many games
It's
without
a redemption arc.
Yeah, without Nurkic, it made up for his last post game season, his last post game year against the Pelicans. Yeah, it did. I mean, he didn't show up for those 4 games, and now he's showing up for these 3 games. So if he shows up for another 4 games, I think his Suns are.
I mean, he's beating up one of the worst defensive fronts of Russell Westbrook coverage.
Don't care, still doing it. The fact that Steph Curry does have 140 offense rating, that's great, but he still blew a 31-point lead.
Fair enough.
So those are our playoff wet boys. Ricky's going with Derek White. Who
Wow,
cares?
you already forgot.
Very
Boring.
Forgettable.
You're going, very forgettable.
I'm going with Steph, the Skyfucker Curry.
And I'm going Dame Lillard.
I always get that one.
First one for Derek White, both regular season and postseason. This is multiple for Steph Curry, and I think this is another one for Dame. I think this is probably his second one. I don't think Dame's had too many throughout his career, but it has been a fun time watching these guys. So we'll see what happens next week. Steph Curry, though, moving closer to, this is a good sign because he's going to move on to the next round.
He gets a week 1 wet boy. There's a chance if he gets one every single week, he could be our champ.
Yeah.
So, man,
I'm excited.
I was just going to look up Damian Lillard and see if he has one. Did not have one in the last regular season. Definitely did not want to have one in the playoffs. Oh, he had 2 in 2017, 2018. So this is now his 3rd. So shout out Damian Lillard, shout out Derek White, and shout out Steph Curry. I guess we could do Steph's too over here as well before we get to John's.
I can tell you with confidence that Derek White has not had a wet boy.
Steph had 2 in 2017, then he had 4 this year, so that's 6, and then he had 2 in the playoffs, so that's 8. So still behind James Harden.
By a lot.
That's going to do it, though, for Wet Boys. And we have a great segment coming up now with John, our patron. If you do want to become a patron, check out patreon.com/MostValuable Podcast. Also, shout out to Kyle. We gave him one last week as well, but let's give him another one. We don't have fantasy this week because Kyle won it. So shout out to Kyle.
Yep.
He got his prize. They didn't have the Starberries in his size, so we
I think he's happy with the Amazon gift card.
I was just going to say we found a better prize for him to make up for it, but Ricky's just dropping what we gave him. So there you go. But shout out to Kyle for winning the league, and hopefully we'll bring that back next year. But